What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Striker Burst Rifle and if it recently got a buff for controller players, because I have been getting asked about this a little bit, and I've also been getting asked about why I've been using it more recently, so that's what we're going to talk about. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of the Striker Burst AR and if you've been using it. So if you guys were unaware, at the start of this season and throughout most of it, if not still continuously, the Striker Burst AR has had very little, basically no aim assist for controller players, and this obviously made it difficult to use. It made it exceptionally difficult to use at longer ranges, which is where the Striker Burst kind of excels anyways. If you look at the Striker AR versus the Striker Burst, a lot of people would kind of feel like the fully automatic one is better for kind of close to medium range, and then once you get like deeper into medium range and into long range, that's where the burst really starts to take over. And so not having aim assist makes the gun very inconvenient to use as is, but like longer range is when it's going to be like most difficult to aim without the aim assist. And this is a season where controller players probably need aim assist more than ever because of how much mobility there is and how chaotic the fights are. Like, especially with the jetpack in the game, fights are crazy. Recently, the Striker Burst has felt a lot better to me, and I'm not really sure why. I'm guessing it's just with the human-like aim assist update we got a few weeks ago. For whatever reason, that just kind of makes the Striker Burst AR feel a little more viable for controller. And recently, I have actually been using it a decent amount just to like play and, you know, get more time on it and get more used to the weapon. And it is a very good weapon. It's just been a weapon that's been very difficult to be consistent with on controller for the entire season. And when you're going up against auto aim items like the Iron Man gloves or the auto turret and people jetpacking around, not being consistent is going to be a problem, right? I feel like I can be much more consistent with the Striker Burst AR now than I could earlier on in the season. I still think there is a noticeable difference in aim assist strength between the fully automatic Striker AR and the Burst. Like, it is noticeable the Striker AR, the fully automatic one, does feel better to me than the Burst as far as aim assist and just aiming wise goes. And I feel like for a lot of the fights this season, I would rather have the fully automatic Striker AR, like we were talking about before, with how common the jetpack is. If it's going to be a scrappy, really chaotic fight, I feel like the auto kind of excels in that more than a burst weapon does. I feel like a burst weapon is more for like picks and getting chip damage and like longer range, slower fights, which doesn't really happen very much in public matches. But where that will happen a decent amount is going to be ranked mode. And that's why I've been trying to use this weapon more and get better with this weapon, is because of the way ranked mode currently is. Not only is there no jetpacks, so the fights aren't as chaotic, and so they are like the fights play out a little more standard, and so having the burst, like some of the burst weaknesses in the pub meta doesn't exist in ranks because the jetpack isn't there, is basically what I'm trying to say. And then fights often play out a lot slower with like your team in a bunker, the enemy team in a bunker, you're just trading shots or trying to hold people. The game plays out much slower in ranked, right? Another thing that makes the game play out much slower in ranked is with the loot pools being separate and with there being way less mobility in ranked, it's much more difficult to go to a weapon bunker consistently. There's no cars, there's no jetpack. The only mobility is shockwaves. And so you might not have time to really go to a weapon bunker, or there might not be a weapon bunker that spawns close enough to you that you feel like you can take advantage of it. Or with the nature of ranked and it being, you know, a more sweaty, more campy game mode, you might not even want to go into the bunkers at all, right? Like, you might just be like, I'd rather not deal with it. I'd rather not deal with people hiding in there. I'd rather not deal with people trying to hold me in there once I'm in there. I'd rather just, you know, play normally and not have to deal with that. So I find myself going to weapon bunkers less in ranked for kind of a combination of those two reasons. With how more inconvenient it is to move around the map in zero build ranked now, I definitely find myself going to bunkers less. And the reason why that would result in me using the burst rifle or the AUG more is that there's more readily available red dot burst ARs than I feel like there is striker ARs. I don't think there's any green striker ARs that spawn with the 1x red dot, but there is burst ARs that spawn with the 1x red dot. There is blue and purple and I believe gold striker ARs that spawn with the red dot, but like I said, the burst gets them at even green and blue. So like, it's easier to get a red dot AUG or burst AR, and that's why I felt like using it more in ranked, because I'm less able to get to a weapon bunker to customize my weapons. So just being able to like use either of the weapons if I get them, I think is more beneficial now than I felt before. And the fact that the way ranked plays out anyways, I feel like the burst is probably a better weapon. I still would rather use the striker AR, like I said before in pubs. I'd rather use it. I feel like it's better versus a jetpack. But even then, I do feel like I'm much better at aiming the fully automatic striker AR. So if I get the choice, like if I have a red dot striker AR, I'm probably going to use it. But a lot of times I'm not going to get a red dot striker AR. And after, you know, using the burst a lot more and maybe the human like aim assist update making the weapon a little more viable for controller, I feel like at this point I would rather use a red dot striker burst in ranked than a no sight fully automatic striker AR in ranked. So that's why I've been using the burst, trying to get better with it. It is mainly just for ranked mode because of how inconvenient it can be to get to a bunker, and the way fights play out, I feel like the burst kind of lends itself to those fights a bit more. And if you are someone who's been struggling and ranked to get to a weapon bunker consistently because of the lack of mobility, I would kind of recommend trying to use the burst and get a little bit better with the burst. That way you at least have a red dot weapon that is, you know, more often available in the loot pool. But that is going to be it for this video. I just want to talk about the burst and let you guys know that if you're a controller player that tried it out at the start of the season, I feel like since the human like aim assist update, it does feel a lot better. And if you're someone who's playing ranked recently and you've been struggling to get attachments, try to pick up the burst a little bit more and get better with it, because you might get better results with that than a no sight striker. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you guys think anything changed, and let some gameplay play out for the rest of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. That rock.
He hit me with the pistol.
They're getting fought by a different team now.
Don't have an angle. We don't have bunkers anymore, right?
No, but there's a rock here. 68 on Saw Guy. I'm coming to you. I'm like a bit far, but I'm on my way. It's 2v2.
And practice Saw Guy. I hit her 80, but like the Saw Guy was cracked. I don't know what he's doing. He's super able to get my siphon, I think. Nice.
I had no more shotgun ammo in.
Nice. I think I cracked him too with the, or I didn't crack him, but like, I think he wasn't full either.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I messed up. I didn't realize it was a 2v2, and I started like rotating because I didn't think we would win on that zone. And then they were like both on you.
Yeah, the Saw one I had like 90 and he was cracked.